Okay, and here we are at the reviewing area, and here is the next component of the Mastermind Creations Feral Rex figure, their take on Predaking. And this is the Mastermind Creations Fortis, which is um, a repaint. Well, yeah, a repaint, and I think a like heavily remold or a slight retool of Mastermind Creations Bovis, their take on Tantrum, and this is their take on Headstrong.
Headstrong. And I sure am glad he's got all that, remember, because there's a lot to this guy. Anyway, he is number 2 in the transformation. And here we go again with these weird feet. That's the only thing, is the feet. I can transform this guy pretty good. I got him down. When it comes to the feet, them feet, there's a balancing act there still that I get confused on, but it takes me a couple minutes, but then I can figure it out. But it takes me a couple minutes because the way it's got to turn, shift, and go back in. It's weird, but it's still good.
This guy and sorry.
I can't get it. I just missed it. Anyway, go ahead.
Sorry about that, y'all. There was like a.
There was that. I don't know what that was. Anyway,
a fly.
I don't know if it was a
somewhere. But anyways, so what I was gonna say is so like I said, this is a repaint, and I'm gonna guess a heavily remold or actually I think a slight retool of Bovis, their take on Tantrum, and this their take on Headstrong here. So I'm gonna try and see what they changed from the previous mold to what they kept the same. So obviously the big change that they did was, well, I am gonna have to remove the feet guns here. And the feet guns do tap into the same tabs here in the same holes here. But I'm going to set that off to the side for now. And he does have well,
yeah, they're different.
Okay.
They just feed him from the bottom of the hands. We'll see that when it comes to robot.
Different weapons?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do want to clarify, they all do come with guns, but I have not broke down the guns really that well yet.
So of course, the big change that they did was, of course, they did give him a new head here, which is all casted in red with some silver on it. And there's even silver paint on the eyes here for the rhino mode. You can see there. And still have the same arms here. Well, the front legs, which are going to form the robot mode arms on the front here. And have the same painted in detail work which is done up in you could see a gunmetal gray or a metallic gray paint on it, whereas on the previous one that we reviewed, they were silver painted. Yes, silver paint.
Yeah. The color scheme is the opposite of Bovis.
And it is on both sides, of course. But he does have different, what are going to become the knee pads here for the robot mode. And this just came up some. Yeah. You're going to hear a lot more of that sound when we get to the combined mode. And oh well, hey, here's the bottom here. So that there is some changes that they did with this figure versus the previous one. Like, obviously, I can see there are some mold changes here. But the transformation on this figure and the other one is, from what I remember, is the same thing. Yes. Yes. And this figure does have the same articulations in beast mode. Yes. As tantrums. Even the same plug-in weapons from here, either here on these ports on both sides, which y'all already saw, or these ports on the back of the legs here. And of course the foot guns do tap on the same tabs and holes on the top of the beast mode here.
They make like barrel cannons.
And of course, like I already said, this figure does have the same articulations in beast mode like
Bovis.
Bovis.
Yeah, like Bovis. This guy right here is supposed to be a rhinoceros. And in real life, rhinoceroses are a powerhouse. They are walking tanks. They are nothing but brute strength.
And this figure does have the same tabbing problem on the front legs. The back legs, yeah.
They have a soft tab.
Yeah. Just like on the previous one.
Yes. Yep.
So this figure does have the same like tabbing issues as the previous one had for the beast mode legs. And he does have the same movements as, of course, the previous one we reviewed. So I think it's now time to transform him. And the transformation is the same as the previous one.
Now remember, we're going from 3 modes: the beast, the robot, to the limb mode.
So what we're gonna do is take the back legs and rotate them back, and they will tap into these holes. And not sure how well y'all can see it, but that little yellow thin thing there, which is a tab, and it doesn't really to tab in. It just
Kind of
sits there.
Yeah, kind of dupes in.
Well, a little.
A little doop, a little thump. Okay.
Untap the back legs and bring these up, and I think you do have to Yes. Okay. So you do need to take the back legs and rotate them around so that they're like this. And do the same thing on the other side. And on the back, flip down these things, which are going to be the knee pads. Separate the back here. Untap these things, and you do want to bring these up, but get these out of the way here so you can bring these out. And then bring down these things, which will form the robot mode legs. Bring up these red things. And of course we get to the feet here, which my dad
I knew he was going to include me, and that's what he told me. I said, he's just going to bring me up. Yes, these are the infamous feet that just makes you want to lose everything. But once you figure it out, you just, okay, that's enough. Go ahead.
and the feet transform the same way as the previous one, where you have to bring it down, not all the way, just about halfway, so you can rotate it so that it lines up about here. That way you have room to bring down the robot mode feet. And then close it up, rotate the feet this way, and kind of push it up some. So it looks like that. And, of course, do the same thing.
Okay. Y'all, he's doing this with such grace. Me, I'm not so graceful. So, it was a disaster for me. And actually, when them feet popped off on me, I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's great. But that popped right back on.
And then bring these around. So they're like this.
Right. Awesome. Awesome possum. So, yes, those feet, the dreadful feet. But they're part of the transformation, so.
Then rotate his waist around. And the front legs transform the same way as Bovis's.
Yes.
Yeah. Where you take the front legs, bring them down, and
I guess you could turn them around.
well,
I think either way is correct.
Yeah, for the beast mode legs, you can like rotate them either way if you want to. For this guy and Bovis, but going by the instructions here, the instruction says to, from what I can see.
These are very small instructions.
Yeah. The instruction says to like just bring these back like this. Which I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave them like that. Cause I don't know if the real Mastermind Creations version, if you would leave these like this or rotate them the other way. On the real Mastermind Creations version, but for this KO here, on the instructions for this KO, it tells you to leave them like this. So I'm gonna leave them like this. Then take the elbows, untap them, and bring them out. And
use this. Use this little deal right there. It helped me get them out earlier. The fists are real tight in there.
Yeah. And then do the same thing on the other side.
Same thing on the other side. And they will come out. It's just, I mean, that's awesome. Why is he leaning? Is he okay? Okay, it was just a foot.
It was just.
It was a footy issue. A footy issue. I mean, one thing that I like about these is if you actually look, if you wanted to, you can have him like in beast mode like that. I mean, you know, that's something you can do. You know, if you just wanted to leave his
robot mode face hidden and just have that head.
So you know what that kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the ones, the little bitty guys that they come out with like animals, water, wind, air. That's who these guys kind of remind me of.
Are you talking about
where you had that little hologram squares? I forgot what they were called.
Are you talking about those battle beasts?
Yes, battle beast. Yes. These are what these guys kind of remind me of. If you go into this kind of mode right here, like a battle beast, and all you would need was the hologram square on there to represent the wood or the fire. I mean, we'll do a review of them later on because back in my childhood, we actually had a couple of them. And I liked them. They were neat. And they were also a crossover into, I believe, Transformers there for a little while. But they didn't make a big appearance, but they did make an appearance somewhere. I just have to research it because I remember seeing it. Anyway, okay, go ahead. I got way off the subject.
But to get the real face, which is the robot mode face, just like with the previous member we reviewed, you would take this little notch and flip it down. But this,
yeah, his head's not totally up. Hold him. There we go. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you would take his face here and just flip it down. And that's his robot mode face. And there you have
I forgot his name. I know it's Headstrong for G1, but it's not. That's not what they're calling him.
Fortis.
Fortis.
here we have Fortis, the third party name, which is their take on Headstrong, as we all know him, in his robot mode. And I'm trying to get the camera situated.
So, all in all, he looks really good. There's not too much difference between him and Bovis. They pretty much transform the same.
Yes.
With the weird feet and all.
Weird feet? What, like the transformation
Yes,
feet?
yes.
Yeah. They do even have the same weird transformation robot mode feet. As usual. And he looks great in robot mode for being a not knockoff. He still looks like a really cool robot mode here. And as always, the plastic is really durable. And he does stand really good. Because he does have not really like too tight joints, but really good snug joints. And let's get a closer look at the head sculpt here. As you can see, it's just all done in red plastic with just some silver paint on it. And going down on the chest, you got a lot more of that metallic gray on it. And going down to his arms here, you can see. And his legs, you do got more of that metallic gray paint here. On both legs here. And these things, but Bovis did have these as well in his robot mode. I think these are supposed to be like leg cannons, if you can call them.
Yes. For him, they're leg cannons. For Bovis, they were more like vents. They were more like vents. He didn't have cannons.
Oh. I thought Bovis had the same leg cannons, but not really.
No, he had vents. Yeah. If I remember correctly. Yeah.
And here's a side view here.
So basically, it's one robot demolition team.
So all around, like I already said, he does transform the same way as but Bovis, he just has like the same transformations.
And the articulation, we can go through a little bit of that, but it's the same as Bovis. So his head can turn.
And it is on a nice ball joint. And the arms, which were the front legs of the beast mode, have that same soft ratchet. But they move in and out the same. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Same waist swivel on that soft ratchet. Legs move forward, back, in and out on another soft ratchet. And knee swivel, ratcheted knee, and ball joint at the feet. So same mold and same transformation, just some differences with the detail works.
Now we're going to get him armed up right quick. Now, this fits in the same way as Boba's, so we're just going to arm him up right quick before we change him into the next mode. So y'all can see that it still applies. Now, these go in under the hand. So in other words, they go under the bottom coming up.
Okay, so with these weapons here, these handles go underneath the hand, not on the top. Well, you can do it if you want to, but to have like a knife if you want to. But of course he needs to hold it as like a sword. Well, like a traditional knife, if you can call it.
I don't know. This is their interpretation of it. So I just thought that was kind of neat how Bovis, it was top load, and here there's bottom as far as these knives right here. And like I said, they all come with guns. I just haven't broke the gun section down yet. So they all do have guns, but I was more interested in that big broadsword that could break down, because each part of that sword goes to each one of these specifically.
Or if you don't want him holding them in his hands, then you can attach them on the same ports here, like on the previous ones. He even does have the same ports on the hips here, like on the previous one. And let me get... So there we have... almost forgot his third part.
Yeah, I was say that's not Bovis. That's Fortis.
Fortis.
Oh, I almost said Fortitude. It was Fort something. I almost said Fortitude. No, that's not his name.
Fortis. Their take on
Headstrong.
Headstrong.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of names to keep in mind. Like they're switching. But of course they have to do that for reasons. And I understand. So all in all, this is a very good looking guy. This is a mobile tank when he's in beast mode. That's what he's supposed to represent, and he is. And I've seen him in a couple of Transformers cartoons in the 80s later on, where Predaking played more of a part. And this guy was talking. I don't remember what the series was, but it was either Skylinks. It's where they had an episode where all these beasts, something was calling them, and they had to go to it. So there you get a couple segments where you actually get these guys separately talking, trying to figure out what's calling them, such as Skylinks, and y'all know what I'm talking about if y'all seen it from back then. So he made I think a joke, but I'm not sure what it was, but he was, you seen him tear through stuff, and he is a force to be reckoned with. So anyway, as all, these guys are awesome in their each individual robot modes.
Could I go ahead and get him in limb mode?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't know what that was about. The door just grabbed me. Okay. It was the handle right here. I got stuck. Anyway, that was crazy. Is there a ghost in here? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So now to get him in limb mode. I was about to say in my head, this guy transforms the same way in the limb mode?
Yes. The
Okay.
same as Bovis. Nothing's changed. The only thing that's different is the head. Everything is,
This head.
Yep,
Okay.
everything is the exact same.
Alright. Get his weapons out. Remove this.
The Bigfoot cannon.
Hide his face. Flipping the hands. Bring up the arms. And tap them in.
Mm-hmm. Now the foot. So basically, if I'm right, all you gotta do is take his feet, turn them around, and then insert the big foot.
Okay, yeah. And then, bring these out and retract back in the feet.
Yes. This is the part that makes me crazy. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And get these out of the way. And that.
Okay, he does it with such ease.
Okay.
If I'm right, you have to flip up, back in on itself, the legs.
Yes. Bring back in the legs. Well, of course, get these front legs out of the way.
Right.
That way you have enough room.
Clearance issues. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, to try and leave these legs untabbed. That way you can have room to attach the foot gun.
Right. And if I'm right, I think you still have to rotate his whole chest. Yes. Yeah. And then you have to turn him in a complete circle.
Yeah, rotate the waist around. Yes. And then
I think what you're going to do is move the thighs up again and have the feet.
bring these back down.
Mm-hmm.
And then bring these up.
Yes, yes.
And I think you can leave these rotated out. Because that's what the instruction says on this KO.
Now, pull up, there you go. And then turn it all the way around. Mm-hmm.
And then attach it to some holes inside this.
I don't know. Can you spread them legs any wider? That just sounded all wrong. But anyway.
Yeah, yes, I can.
Okay, so we can go ahead and give them a good view of how this goes in there.
That hole and that hole on these two little round tabs on this foot gun here.
Right. So it has a separate indention in the mold itself to make it slide in there. And then you have to squeeze it together to make sure it's in place.
And then we're not done yet. We of course need to take the beast mode head and bring it down, and take the connector and bring it up with that nice clicking sound.
That is tight. That's tight.
Yeah.
That is. So.
And here's the other leg for
Feral Rex.
Feral Rex.
Yep.
Here.
So that is another foot, and you can go a bunch of different directions because of
It is on a ball joint at the entire foot here.
Yep. And then you got his little bitty cannon toes.
Toe cannons.
I don't know.
That can move up and down. and there's the hole here where it would connect to.
Yes, that is the connecting port right there. And we're just gonna turn around right quick. That's the back side. That's the side. And that's the front side. The front. The front. That's what it looks like in his limb mode.
Yes.
So, what else do you want to add right quick before we get to our final review? Our final thoughts. Our final review.
I don't have anything else to say, but it does look like a really. But the lag mode does look really cool, just like on the original G1, right?
Yes, just like the original G1. So, with that said, we will get to our final thoughts. See y'all here in a minute.